College football is more than just a game. It's a billion-dollar behemoth where winning is everything. But at what price? Schools spend upwards of $100 million on their football programs, yet athletes often pay the highest cost. Reports show a shocking 7% increase in on-field injuries over the last 5 years. Behind the roaring crowds and celebrated touchdowns lies a darker narrative of sacrifice and struggle. We're peeling back the layers of this multi-billion-dollar industry to reveal the true cost of winning in college football. In the high-stakes arena of college football, money talks, and it speaks volumes. Take TV deals. ESPN shells out a colossal $470 million annually for the college football playoff alone. The Power 5 conferences aren't far behind, pocketing over $200 million each year from their own TV contracts. Then there's sponsorships and merchandise. Ever wondered why there's so much hype about those team t-shirts? It's a gold mine. And let's not forget ticket sales, filling stadiums to the brim, contributing to this financial juggernaut. It's a game of numbers where schools like Texas lead the pack with $144 million in earnings, followed closely by heavyweights like Georgia and Michigan. But where does all this money go? It's a complex web of distribution. A significant chunk supports other sports that don't bring in the bucks. Think swimming, tennis, or track. They're riding on football's coattails. And then there are the astronomical coaching salaries, skyrocketing from $4 million in 2006 to a whopping $9.6 million on average for Power 5 teams in 2018. Let's not overlook the fancy stadiums and state-of-the-art facilities either. All part of the show. But in this lucrative game, the players, the heart and soul of the sport, see none of this wealth directly, bound by NCAA regulations to scholarships and stipends. Enter the game changer, NIL, name, image, and likeness rights. Athletes can now cash in on their fame, opening doors to endorsements and partnerships. Think of the Kevin twins. Their social media savvy translates into real dollars. This seismic shift, spurred by a 2021 Supreme Court ruling, has upended the college sports world. No longer mere amateurs, these athletes can now build personal brands, earning through social media and merchandise. But it's not all cheers and celebrations. Voices like Charles Barkley warn of potential pitfalls, from educational distractions to regulatory chaos. Amidst these shifts, the glaring financial disparities between the titans of college football and their lesser-known counterparts become even more pronounced. While powerhouses like Texas bask in the glory of rich TV deals and overflowing stadiums, smaller schools like Kansas and Washington State grapple with modest budgets and limited resources. This chasm not only impacts their competitive edge, but also raises critical questions about fairness and equity in college sports. As we peel back the layers of college football's financial backbone, a disturbing reality emerges. But what does this mean for the players themselves? The young athletes at the heart of this multi-million-dollar spectacle. In the high-pressure cauldron of college football, athletes grapple with more than just opponents on the field. Under the glaring lights of expectation, they bear a heavy burden, balancing the intense pressure to perform and maintain scholarships with their academic responsibilities. Did you know that during just 20% of the season, the preseason, half of all concussions occur? Or that each additional year, playing football spikes the odds of developing chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, by 15%? These aren't just numbers. They're a chilling reality for players, many unaware of the risks lurking beneath each helmet and shoulder pad. Amidst grueling training schedules, these student athletes strive to keep pace with their academic counterparts, navigating a tightrope walk of studies and sports. They're athletes and scholars expected to excel in both arenas, often with minimal respite. And let's not forget the silent adversary, mental health. The stats are alarming, with a significant proportion of players experiencing stress, anxiety, and depression, yet often suffering in silence due to the pervasive stigma around mental health in sports. Next, delve into the murky waters of recruitment. High school athletes, mere teenagers, find themselves entangled in a web of promises and high-stakes decisions. With misleading terms like verbal offers, the ethical lines blur. This premature rush into life-altering commitments can leave young athletes vulnerable and exploited. Then there are the NCAA rules and the specter of compliance issues. Florida State's recent NIL violations, leading to hefty sanctions, lay bare the high risks of navigating these complex regulations. The role of alumni and boosters adds another layer to this intricate puzzle. The rise of donor collectives, wielding significant influence through financial support, raises critical questions about the integrity and equity of college sports. The intriguing dynamics of alumni giving, tied to the success of football programs, reveal a nuanced, sometimes problematic relationship between sports triumphs and academic priorities. In this high-stakes game where winning is paramount, what is the true cost to our academic institutions? In the academic world, the roar of the crowd on game day often drowns out the quiet hum of the library. The American Enterprise Institute warns of the risks, from physical harm to academic distraction. Then there's the staggering financial imbalance. The Delta Cost Project reveals that universities spend up to 6 times more on student athletes than on their academic counterparts. Imagine the funds pouring into football programs while the chemistry lab's beakers crack and computers in the library gather dust. It's a tale of two campuses, one gleaming with state-of-the-art sports facilities, the other struggling to keep up with educational advancements. The Knight Commission reports public universities spend over $100,000 per athlete annually, dwarfing the investment in the average student. As academic spending inches up, athletic budgets leap, a financial high jump with questionable fairness. And let's not forget the reputational tightrope universities walk. Penn State's scandal with Jerry Sandusky is a stark reminder. Football scandals can leave indelible scars. The NCAA's hammer fell hard, but the reputational damage lingered far longer. Stay tuned as we explore the broader societal and economic impacts of this new reality where the cost of winning might just be too high. The University of Colorado Boulder's football games in 2023 pumped a staggering $113.2 million into the Boulder region. This isn't just about ticket sales. It's about hotels, restaurants, and local businesses thriving on game days. The 2022 College Football Playoff National Championship in Indianapolis, a colossal $156 million in total sales. That's more than just a game. It's an economic engine driving growth and prosperity in host cities. But what about the role of media? It's colossal, shaping not just how we view college football, but also our societal values. Media glamorizes the sport, turning it into a juggernaut of entertainment, with broadcasting rights and sponsorships flowing like rivers of gold. College football is more than a sport. It's a dream for many young athletes. It shapes their aspirations, training, and even personal conduct. But this comes with a price and intense pressure to succeed, often overshadowing the joy of the game and leading to burnout and injuries. College football's cultural significance in America is profound. It has been a battleground for civil rights, a unifier of communities, and a reflection of societal changes. As Samuel G. Friedman puts it, college football in the 1960s was a transformative force challenging racial segregation and propelling the civil rights movement forward. This isn't just sports, it's history in the making. But as we marvel at this legacy, we must also question, what does the future hold? Critics argue that the relentless pursuit of profit is eroding the sport's soul, turning stadiums into cash machines and fans into mere consumers. Historically, college football's commercial aspect was a footnote to its core identity. But now, with broadcasting rights fetching astronomical sums, the commercial juggernaut is overpowering. Critics lament this transformation, fearing it undermines the sport's integrity and the educational mission of colleges. This isn't just a game anymore. It's a billion-dollar industry at odds with its own academic roots. Joe Rogan, the fiery voice on the Joe Rogan Experience, who slams the NCAA for exploiting athletes in a system he calls one of the craziest scams in all of money. While coaches and staff pocket hefty sums, the athletes, the heart and soul of the sport, often get nothing. Rogan's outrage echoes a growing sentiment. Athletes deserve better. They're not just players. They're individuals risking their health for a system that all too often forgets them. But it's not just about money. The ethical quagmire of college football goes deeper, questioning the balance between athletics and academics. Stories of academic shortcuts and compromised standards only fuel these concerns, painting a disturbing picture of a sport losing sight of its educational values. Can we reconcile the commercial juggernaut with the sport's academic and ethical soul. From the intense grid irons of college football to the high-speed tracks of Formula One, the landscape of sports is ever-changing. Having explored the cost of winning in college football, our next journey takes us to the disturbing rise of F1 in Saudi Arabia. Discover how similar forces of power, money, and politics are driving dramatic changes in the world of motorsports.